Welcome to the Walk and Power podcast, where I believe that confidence is your superpower. I'm your host, Carmen B., founder of Healthy Energy Actively Living, also known as HEAL, and creator of the Manifesting Love Journey, a transformational course designed to help high-achieving women develop power habits for increasing their confidence and achieving optimal wellness, all while building the life they desire and deserve. Because, listen, no woman should have to choose between her health and success when we deserve both, sis. My mission here is to inspire you to own your power, to make your wellness a priority while crushing your goals with grace. I'll be inviting some amazing and inspirational guests who will share about their journey to wellness and offer tips for your toolbox. My hope is that every episode leaves you better than you came, and you would gracefully share your experience with someone else. If you're ready to prioritize your wellness and build unstoppable confidence to crush your goals, then you're in the right place. And I'm so happy you decided to join me here today. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Hello, family. It's been a minute. It has been a minute since I recorded a show. So much has happened in my life over the past few months that took me away from the things that I really enjoy doing. I was given the responsibility of caring for a newborn baby, an infant, back in February. And, I went from being a single mom of a preteen to being a single mom of a preteen and an infant. She was 3 months old. And that was, that was a lot. While it was an incredible blessing, it was so graceful because she was the most perfect baby girl. It still came with a lot of challenges, right? It came with a lot of challenges, and I had to shift the way I did things on a daily basis, the way I took care of myself, the way I took care of my family, the way I worked. It impacted my ability to show up in my business and really follow through on all the goals I set for myself this year. I've been working on writing a book, promoting Manifesting Love, which is my coaching program, but also pouring into this podcast, which is something that I love to do. I missed you all so much. And I'm sure you missed the show. You missed the show. I've gotten so much feedback on the shows and how impactful they have been to people. So not being able to do that over the past few months was definitely disheartening for me, which brings us to this podcast. Because often when we think about our goals, it's so easy to get married to these goals and really have tunnel vision, right? Tunnel vision of, okay, this is the goal I set. This is when it has to happen. This is how it has to happen. Not taking into account that life happens. So many things happen that are out of our control that can negatively and sometimes positively impact the goals that we've set for ourselves. But when life does happen and we end up falling off on our goals or not being able to follow through in the way we would have liked to, too often people keep falling, right? It's like, okay, the goal didn't work out. Things didn't go my way. I'm just going to give up and revert back to old habits or old thoughts, old behaviors. And I want to tell you this today is that falling off on your journey towards achieving a goal is not an excuse to keep falling. It's not an excuse to keep falling. It's an opportunity to really look at what's happening in your life and then decide what changes, what shifts do I need to make in my life to get back on track with my goals, to follow through with the goals I set for myself and set for my life. And remember that this pertains to any goal you have, whether it's a health and fitness goal, it's a financial goal, relationship goals, spiritual goals, whatever that is. Falling off is not an excuse to keep falling. So let's use financial goals as an example, right? You may say to yourself, you know what? I want to aim to save $200 a month. Well, that is a great goal to set for yourself in order to build wealth and create new possibilities of wealth for yourself and your family, right? But then maybe an unexpected bill pops up, or maybe something unexpected that needed to happen on your house, on your car, illness, anything can pop up that can take you away from going forward and continuing on that journey to build wealth, to save money. But here's the thing, that's okay. You have no control over that. What you do have control over is how you move forward, right? So once you're able to revise your goals and get back to, all right, that thing happened, it's been taken care of, now what? You can set a new goal, right? You can think about, or you can revise the goal. All right, now I'm not able to save $200 a month, but I can definitely do $150, or I can definitely do $125, right? It's not, I can't do $200, so I'm doing nothing. Or that didn't happen, so forget it. I'm not even going to follow through on that goal anymore. And that's what happens to many of us when we fall off of our goals and feel discouraged, right? You feel defeated because things didn't go the way you wanted them to go, not realizing here's an opportunity to shift the way I'm thinking about my goal so that I can still make a dent in my goal. So today we are going to talk about tips for getting back on track after you have fallen off on your journey. So the first tip I'm sharing today is review your goals, right? Once you feel like you've fallen off or things didn't go the way you wanted them to go, once you're able to, it's time to review your goals. Look at those goals again and ask yourself these questions. After you've hit a hiccup, is the goal that you have even still the same, right? Like, maybe something else came about for you. So in your review, ask yourself, are my goals still the same? Do they even still make sense to where I am in my life right now? Do they make sense to the future I desire for myself or for my family or both, right? Do they make sense to the person I desire to be? Do they make sense for my long-term goals and plans? And then decide, are there new goals? And some of these new goals may replace previous goals, or they can be added to the goals you've already set for yourself, depending on where you are in your life. So that's tip number 1. Review your goals. Say them out loud. Do some writing, whatever it takes. Review those goals. Next is set a new milestone timeline, right? And so when we talk about milestone timelines, these are setting timelines for smaller goals, right? Small milestones that help you achieve the ultimate goal. Right? So it could be, all right, I want to save $200 a month with the goal of having $10,000 a month. $10,000 saved by the end of the year. So what are the small things you can do now to help you achieve that larger goal? That could look like putting away $50 a week as opposed to trying to Just do a chunk of $200 a month. That could also look like cutting back on Starbucks coffee or coffee or anything that you spend money on outside of your home, looking at those things. Where can I cut back? Can I cut back on eating out? Can I cut back on, going out? Can I cut back on shopping? Looking at the small things you can do that can help you achieve your greater goal, right? And then you say, all right, by next month, I want to be here with this goal. So by next month, I want to make sure I have at least 350 saved. All right, that's a nice small milestone. And if you are able to achieve that milestone, now we set a new milestone. What is the next month going to look like? So set some milestone timelines. Third, create an action plan. What are the actions you're going to put in place to achieve this goal? Do you need to get a side hustle? Is there another place where you can make a little money? That could be, babysitting or offering some coaching advice on something that you are very knowledgeable about to help you achieve this goal and reach your greater goal and probably even exceed the goal, right? What are some things you can do? So right now we're just talking about finance, but I want you to be thinking about how these tips can apply to every area of wellness where you have set some goals, right? So creating an action plan. Write down, what do you need in order to be successful? What do you already have in order to be successful? What is your start date? What are the dates that you want to be hitting your milestones? What do your bank accounts look like? Do you have bank accounts with good interest rates? Are you taking advantage of what's out there to help you achieve these goals? Again, we're talking about finance right now, but you can apply this same level of thinking to every dimension of your life where you have set goals. Fourth, I want to encourage you to create an accountability system, right? Something that's going to make you say, okay, I'm on it, right? So this could look like checking in, right? Having set check-ins for your goals. And you could say, hey, every 2 weeks I check in to see how I'm doing and put that on your calendar. Today is check-in day. This could also look like setting alarms on your phone, using different types of accountability apps that can sound off when it's time for you to be accountable, when it's time for you to do something in particular on your journey. You have these alarms that go off that remind you, that's in your face, that you cannot forget. It could also look like having a discussion with your friends or family members, sharing your goals and your dreams with them and asking them to be an accountability partner, asking them to check in on you. And you all decide together what those check-ins look like. How often should those check-ins happen? You can also use a coach, right? If you're working with a coach, so this could be a financial coach, but you could also be working with your fitness coach, your therapist, whoever that is. You can ask them to also provide some accountability when they're checking in with you. Set up what you want that accountability to look like so that it works for both of you. But it's very challenging to achieve goals when there's no accountability. You kind of like move on autopilot when you have no accountability, when you have nothing set in place for you to say, all right, what do I need to be doing now? Where am I slacking? Where am I grooving? Right? So that you can continue to build on what you're doing or add things or activities to help you keep moving forward. So create an accountability system. And guess what? You could use one or all of these levels of accountability. Lastly, I want to encourage you to celebrate your wins. Big or small, it does not matter. When you do that check-in, when you do that check-in every 2 weeks, or you're, looking at your milestones and saying, wow, I really achieved that. Or I got really close. Sometimes we may not hit it right on the nail, but what if you got really close? It's still a reason to celebrate. You know why? Because you're not in the same place you were when you started. So you still have something to celebrate. You have to celebrate yourself, celebrate your success, because this is going to trigger those feel good, hormones. I think it's called endorphins. Don't hold me to that. I am not a scientist. However, it's going to trigger that feel good, right? That's going to make you want to keep going. That's going to make you want to keep going. So let's just go back over those 5 tips again. 5 tips for getting back on track with your goals after you have fallen off. Number 1, review your goals. Number 2, set new milestone timelines. Number 3, create an action plan. Number 4, create an accountability system. And number 5, celebrate your wins, no matter how big or small they are. And lastly, you can put this system right here on repeat. This can be a system for you for 1, reviewing goals over and over again, but also for staying on track. And you can say, hey, I'm going to use this system right here every 3 months or every 6 months. I'm going to go back to reviewing my goals and setting new milestones and so on and so forth. Here's the thing to also keep in mind. These are your goals. That's what I had to remind myself when things weren't going the way I wanted them to go. When I wasn't hitting those milestones that I set for myself prior to life happening, right? I got down on myself. I felt defeated, but I also had to say, sis, whose goals are they anyway? These are your goals. So because these are your goals, you have the power to review and revise as often as you have to, as long as you don't give up. And that is my piece of advice to you today. Own your power to review your goals and revise them as many times as you need to. Right? As many times as you need to. But giving up is not an option. You might have to take a break. Okay, take a break. You might have to make some shifts. That's fine. Make a shift. Giving up is not an option. Because when you give up, that's when you're defeated. Right? The real defeat comes in you saying, this is not important. I don't matter. My goals don't matter. The life I'm dreaming for doesn't matter. And that's where you lose your power and also crush your confidence. Giving up is not an option. So I want to encourage you today. If you have goals that maybe you've fallen off or you really haven't been giving your all and the way you know you can, take an opportunity to really use this system. Use this system to get back on track. Allow this to be the system that really supports you in achieving the goals that you've set for yourself and for your future. Because, honey, you deserve the life you desire. You deserve that life. And the same way you want that life wants you. Until next time, walk in power. Thank you for tuning in to this episode on the Walk in Power podcast. I hope you feel enlightened, inspired, and equipped to make your wellness a priority. This is your time right now to walk in power. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to catch every new episode. And please leave a review along with any topics you would like to hear me speak on. If you have not done so already, please head over to my website at www.healwithcarmenb.com to check out the services I have to offer. And while you're visiting, make sure you subscribe to my mailing list to receive updates on new episodes and upcoming events. I've also created a Walk in Power Facebook community, and you're invited to join. This way, we can continue these discussions on achieving optimal wellness while crushing your goals with grace. You can also stay connected with me on Instagram at Heal with Carmen B and on Facebook at Healthy Energy Actively Living. Until next time, walk in power. Your confidence and wellness coach, Carmen B. Peace.